What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, SynysterKobra, coming back with my co host. This is where you come in.
This is where I come in. Oh, my bad. Co-host WC Karate Kid. What's up?
And we are coming back with podcast number 2 of an unnamed show. We still haven't figured it out, but it's whatever.
We'll
It's
get there
not,
eventually.
yeah, it's not I don't feel like it's a big deal. I just, the SynysterKobra and WC Karate Kid show works for me.
Oh man, I can already hear the horrible jingles in my head.
So I guess we're gonna be starting with like a little icebreaker. We're just gonna be talking about what we've been doing for like the last week, channel updates, games we've been playing, TV shows, movies we've been watching, or anything like that, basically. So I guess I'll
Cool.
start.
Yep.
Um, as channel updates, I have nothing too big. But just been pumping out videos for the recent Halo 5 update that got dropped last Wednesday. So I've been pumping out videos kind of nonstop for like the last week. It's been fun. It's been kind of tiring too. So definitely do not like the uploading everyday schedule. I don't think that's for me.
Yeah, I think that's a lot. It's a big commitment for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is a big commitment. It's like it's just a little too hectic, but I mean that's what the all the big channels do. So, but then again, the big channels sometimes hire editors and stuff to do it for them.
Yeah, but they're making that rich YouTube money that you're not making yet. So
Or I'll probably never make, but that's fine too.
yeah, I mean we're just doing it for fun mostly. So you know.
Basically. So as far as games I've been playing, Halo 5 obviously that's like the big focus of my channel. Every now and then I'll pop in Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, and as of yesterday I've been playing Pokemon Go, or at least trying to play it. The
Pokemon Go, all the rage, all over Facebook.
Yes, it got released yesterday around 7 p.m. PST. So just to give you
That's
guys an idea,
yeah, that's not
it
bad.
was kind of late. Yeah, kind of late release.
Definitely
It's
late
kind
for
of weird.
those East Coast people.
Yeah, it was just definitely weird. Usually games aren't released that late, I would imagine.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a great time to release a new product for sure. I mean, you'd probably want to hit that 9 a.m. PST time or noon at least, so people are
Yeah,
getting off work or out of school. I guess it's summer, but you know.
right. Right, but in between server issues, I've been trying to play that game. I got a good like half-hour walk today before I got disconnected from the servers, so that
Damn.
was fun.
Pokemon revolutionizing the exercise schedule of children everywhere and also
Exactly,
adults.
exactly.
No one is safe.
That's probably the biggest thing about this is I'm gonna be adding in a little bit of exercise to my daily schedule now, my daily routine.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I didn't even know Pokemon was making Pokemon Go. I mean, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, but I feel like I would have heard of it somewhere on a commercial or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I remember they announced it, and then like I don't really keep up with Pokemon games news that much since I don't have a 3DS, and that's where all the new Pokemon games are being released. So like I didn't really see any type of news or anything in my feeds, but occasionally I would get the oh Pokemon Go has been delayed or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet they weren't expecting this many people to be playing it so soon. That's probably why they have so many server issues, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I don't know how you would not expect something like this with a franchise as big as Pokemon.
I
It's kind of weird.
beyond me. Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems like it would definitely be something that's popular. Maybe they thought people wouldn't be up for the exercise aspect of it, so they're just like, it'll probably just be a slow growth. And also the fact that they didn't seem to advertise it that much. Maybe they didn't think people would know about it.
Yeah, well, I guess before we get into a big old discussion about this, I guess we should probably move on since this is all like housekeeping icebreaker stuff we're trying to get through here.
Yes. Intro is going to be short and concise. We've already failed. We're already 5
Yeah.
minutes in. Anyways, channel updates for me. Making more Left 4 Dead videos. I'm mostly just editing it. I have all the footage already recorded, and I am starting a new series on Enter the Gungeon, which I'm having a lot of fun with. I suck at it, but I'm having a good time. So I'm gonna be uploading those videos on Saturdays now, and I'm gonna be uploading Left 4 Dead Wednesdays and Fridays, and occasionally Monday. I kind of have to stretch my footage because I'm going on vacation. Games I've been playing: CS:GO, that's my go-to game. Enter the Gungeon, and then Dying Light. So, yep, that's what I've been doing.
So you've been thinking about like starting up your Twitch again, right?
Yeah, my internet's been really crappy. If you notice on the screen, I got my Twitch thing up there, my Twitch channel, so you guys can check that out. And I stream a bunch of stuff, but honestly, I'm pretty much down to play anything that's in my Steam library. By the way, my Steam is WC_Karate Kid, so you can find me there. Swing by my stream, you can always ask me to play a different game, and I'm down for that. But yeah, recently I streamed a little bit of Dying Light, and I try to stream CS:GO, but it's just always the internet's always too bad, and my ping shoots to like 200. So who
Yeah,
knows? I was
I'm definitely having some internet issues sometimes too, especially during like the day
yeah,
when everyone is like online,
all those
everyone's awake.
all those kids who are home from school, huh? All using up that bandwidth,
Exactly.
downloading their illegal torrents and watching their adult videos.
Sure. I don't want to get into. I don't even want to know who does that, but
Yeah,
let's go
definitely
with
not
that.
us. We're good people. We don't do that kind of stuff. All right, so wanna move on to our discussion topics?
Sure. So
All
let's
right,
like hear in our handy dandy cliff notes.
I am in our
First
handy
topic.
dandy cliff notes. The first topic that I came up with was kind of just going over the Steam summer sale. It just ended 3 days ago. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit later than 3 days ago by the time this is out, but it ended on 4th of July. And I mostly just wanted to talk about the cards and like games we bought. So I guess I can start. So I picked up a couple games. I picked up Dying Light and Enter the Gungeon, which I just talked about, as well as Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, and a couple of other impulse buys like Risk of Rain, which is all right. I almost returned it. My friend really wants me to keep it and really wants me to get into it, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Uh, and I also picked up Doom, which is I haven't played it yet, but I played the demo and it's insanely fun. So I'm glad about that. I am sad that Factorio did not go on sale though, because I really
Uh,
want to buy Factorio.
I have no idea what game that is, but I'm sure it's a great game.
I feel like I've showed you Factorio before.
I feel like you have.
Yeah, Factorio is a pretty cool game where you pretty much build a factory. You're on a Martian planet. You crash land there, and you start with like a stick, and you like break some ores with your stick, and it takes a really long time. And eventually, you upgrade to a pickaxe, and like pretty quickly. And then you're like, okay, this is a little more efficient. But then you realize you can build a factory that automatically mines stuff, which really shows you like how efficient you can be, and you pretty much just build this giant factory in order to gather resources to make it back home. So it's pretty cool. There's like aliens as well involved that they don't like the pollution you create when you're making a factory and stuff. But I've played it a lot because my friend let me play their copy, but I do want to buy it because it is fun. So I'd like to support the developers. But it did not go on sale at all, so I couldn't get myself to buy it.
Sounds like yet another survival crafting game. Really not my thing.
It's like it's third person though. It's like top. Actually, it's not third person. It's like top down.
Okay.
Move with
So it's
WASD and then click and stuff. It's not like a super
like
intense fighting crafting
like a
game.
Sim
Like
City or something.
kind of like there is
Roller
some
Coaster Tycoon.
crafting, but like it's very light core crafting, and it's very light
Okay.
core survival. It's not like you have to feed yourself or anything. It's just trying to gather resources, optimize your factory and stuff. I don't know. My engineering brain likes that kind of thing. I don't know why, but
Well, Now that you explained it to me, I can totally say that you did not ever show me any type of gameplay footage or anything of that game. So this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
All right, well, I'll have to show you that after the show then.
Sounds good.
All right, and we already know, unfortunately, you did not buy any games, which is very
Yes, I
sad.
did not buy any games. I am in a situation where I can't afford games. So I spent the whole summer sale hoarding cards and then selling them on the market. And what is it, like a week that the summer sale was going for? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I could not get one card. So on like the last day, I just bought it off the market for like 7 cents or something.
I thought you said you had all the cards and then you crafted the badge and then you were just selling them.
Yeah, I got all the cards because I had to buy the last card because I just wasn't pulling it from the free cards that you get for going through the queue.
You definitely should have tried the Steam trading card group. That definitely helped me get my last card that I was looking for.
Yeah, I just found it easier to just buy it. I mean, I was getting basically I traded one of the cards I sold for the the card that I bought is
Yeah,
the way I look at it.
minus fees.
Minus the fees, but I mean,
Yeah, it's all right.
when you include the fees, that's like a card and a half or something, and that was we were getting like 3 free cards a day, so
Right,
I don't really feel like I lost out on much.
right. All the cards that you got were free cards. And
Yeah, so
speaking of those 3 free cards a day, the queue, like they tied it to the queue this time. Sometimes you vote on like what next game is gonna go on flash sale and that kind of stuff. Personally, I didn't think that the queue was a great way to get cards because I just found myself going on there feeling like it was a chore, clicking through the queue really quick so I can get my free cards. Oh, what did
right,
you think about that? Like, was it effective for the games who were being marketed? Did you pay attention at all? Because like I didn't.
definitely did not pay attention. I occasionally like a game I was interested in and completely forgot about it, and it popped up like the Lego Avengers. I completely forgot that that game came out, and it popped up in my queue. And I was like, "Oh, cool! Click on wish list. All right, let me move on to the next game now." But that was like the extent to what I was paying attention to the queue.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same here. Is like I had games on my wish list that I had taken off for whatever the reason, and then they would come up again. But I was clicking through it so fast, I would kind of just remember like blurs of titles and then have to try to find them on the store, which was a fun adventure.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I personally I like it because I get 3 free cards a day versus like 1 free card for voting on the flash sale, which would go for like 12 hours or something. Flash sales were like 12 hours long or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
So
And
sometimes,
yeah,
I guess depending on when you did your clicking, you can get 2 cards a day or something on the flash sale.
right.
But
And like it's kind of that's true, but I feel like people actually cared about what they voted for mostly in the flash sale. And
right,
also like I don't know. It's just something about it seemed better than the queue. The queue kind of just seemed like a chore. Like I wasn't enjoying it at all. I didn't actually look at the games, whereas with the flash sale, they give you 4 options, and I looked at all of the 4 options, and I'm like, which one would I really consider buying? So
right.
it seemed like a
Yeah,
better
that's true.
marketing strategy for the games involved. I don't know if the games
Yeah,
actually have to pay to be in the queue, but if they do, I feel like that was not worth the amount of money that they paid to be in that queue.
yeah, but I guess this way it benefits Valve since more cards are entering the market, which in turn means more fees that get given to Valve. So they probably made more money than usual on this
Yeah, that
flash sale versus
yeah,
Q
that
thing.
that might be true, but at the same time, like I feel like a lot of the money that was going back into them was free money that we made off of cards. You know what I mean? Like obviously someone somewhere paid for a card. That's true. But I feel like a lot of us probably just sold their other cards and then bought other cards.
Right,
So
right,
I don't
yeah,
like while they were collecting fees, they were collecting like free fee. I don't know. It's kind of It's kind of weird. Steam credits do not equate to real money.
Yeah, well,
That's
not for
for
us. It does
sure.
for Valve though.
Kind of. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still not convinced with that Steam card logic.
Yeah, I mean, well, so in my case, since I wasn't able to buy games, I enjoyed the queue. Gave me my 3 free cards a day.
Oh yeah.
I was able to collect all the chump change from the cards, and I made like about $1 and some change. So
Yeah. Yeah,
that
it's
was pretty cool.
definitely a nice way to get like a little bit of extra money for pretty much no effort.
Pretty much just clicking.
Right. The one thing I do have to gripe about though was someone was talking about if you save your cards, you like your normal game cards, for the summer sale and you craft a badge, you get a free summer sale card. And if you do it in the beginning, you can sell a card for a lot. I was like, sweet. Okay, I went out of my way, I bought cards so that I could sell my summer sale card for buku bucks, right? And they sold for like 12 cents instead of like 9, and I was like, oh my god, I wasted not so much money, but I wasted my money buying all these cards thinking I could sell these for like 50 cents or something. And pretty disappointed with myself. For all you get rich quick schemers out there, that is not a good way to make money.
Yeah, definitely not.
Lesson learned, will not do again.
Well,
Anyways,
speaking of get rich quick schemes, I think we should probably talk about this controversy going on this whole week
yeah.
involving CS:GO gambling.
And Valve again.
Yeah, and Valve again. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure everyone has heard it by this point. Two YouTubers were doing their get rich quick schemes through a CS:GO skin gambling website. Not sure if you heard of
I
it.
I have CS:GO
Yeah,
Lotto.
I know you're into the CS:GO skin gambling, or at
I
least you were.
was. I was. I've broken
Yeah,
away from it. I know you don't believe me, but I think I have. I haven't put
yeah,
any more money into my skin buying account in like a
yeah.
month.
Right,
So that's progress for me.
right. So I mean, I don't really want to turn this into like a drama show, but I just feel like we kind of had to touch on it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since I hold CS:GO gambling near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Not really dear, but definitely near to my heart. Uh
So yeah, like I don't even have CS:GO, so I'm not that. It doesn't affect me that much, but I just want to know your thoughts about it since you have dove into this CS:GO gambling.
Let me just
Thing.
say, I'm glad that CS:GO gambling is blowing up. I hear people talking about this all the time. Kids who are definitely not 18. Now, I actually didn't know that it was illegal to online gamble in the United States. So, that I guess is like the one illegal thing I've done in my life. But I didn't know, so I don't know. Anyways, but yeah,
Well,
I have a lot of friends through CS:GO who are like in high school and stuff, and
sure.
they like one of my friends, he just bought like $150 worth of skins like last week, and he's gonna quote try not to gamble them away unquote because he has a 7 day hold because of buying it off of Steam, right?
Right.
But he had bought or he had won or bought a knife that was like $50 and he gambled it away before he even used it. And it's like, it's kind of a problem. He's in high school. This kid's like 15 years old, and it's like, okay, that knife is worth $50, and he lost
Right.
it. So it's like he just lost $50. You didn't get any
Right.
enjoyment of playing with it in game, which for me, like, I bought a knife, but I'm using it in game, and there's no way in hell I'm going to be gambling that away. But I think it's a real problem with the underage people, as well as the fact it's obviously illegal in the United States, now that I know. Um, but it really was a problem, and I'm glad it's kind of being unearthed. Um,
Yeah.
so
I mean, like I said, I'm not too into this. This doesn't affect me at all. If or it doesn't affect me too much, if at all. Um, I am glad that people are cracking down on these situations. I don't think that it's cool to take advantage of people like that. I don't want to like take sides or anything or like call out these dudes that were doing it. I'm sure everyone knows who it is at this point, but I was I did follow these two guys for a bit. They they were part of the, I guess, the Call of Duty blow up back in the day when Machinima was still a thing. So they were pretty well known people to me, at least. And it's kind of surprising to see these two guys end up in this controversy.
Well, I think that the problem, besides like the gambling part, I don't think that was really the issue with them. The issue was they didn't disclose when they were being sponsored, so it's almost like false advertisement.
Right.
That's the real issue with those two people specifically. And I mean, again, if I was in the same situation, I wouldn't have known that I had to disclose that, but I have a feeling that they did since they were legally tied to the company.
I
Um
mean, these are two guys that are like sponsored by like Monster and I don't know whatever other Astro, Razor, things like that. So I'm pretty sure they had to know about this stuff.
right, exactly. And also with the video link that you sent me, I'm assuming it's the H3H3 information about it.
Mhm.
That when he points out that like basically they say, "Oh, we were sponsors later, but then they were signed the first day." It's like they're blatantly lying. And
Right.
that also doesn't help their credibility. I think that just blew things like it made it even worse. It would have been better to cry, "I didn't know," than to cry, "Oh, we were involved later," and be caught basically red-handed.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of angles to this gambling controversy that merit
Yeah.
discussion, but it's just like it's so well known. These are all things that people have probably already heard before if
Yeah.
they're listening to this and they care about it. Um, but
Right. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
it's just been a crazy week for involving that situation.
it really has
I
been a
don't know if
crazy week.
I don't know if you heard, but there was this guy that came clean about being in something similar like this. I think it was something about he was given skins from a gambling website, and he was like told to fake his reactions and stuff uh, as he was winning the skins. I don't know if you heard about that. It's like another YouTube guy.
I did not. I did not hear about that.
Yeah, I think this was just like revealed yesterday or like the day before or something. But there are people like coming clean about their affiliation with gambling sites now.
Oh yeah,
It's
but
kind of
I
crazy.
feel like a lot of people, like not those two guys, but I feel like a lot of people who made like YouTube videos and got sponsored and stuff, I legitimately think that those people may not have known that they needed to disclose that they were being sponsored. So even though he's like being rigged or whatever and faking reactions, like maybe he
Hmm.
didn't know he had to write a little disclaimer or something that he was being sponsored. Um,
Right.
Obviously faking anything. If you're asked to fake anything, it's a little bit sketchy. Like when I was on Twitch, someone asked if I donate big to you, can you give me the money back and can you fake your reaction? If there's always something sketchy about that. It's like
Right.
one, you feel like you didn't earn it. I mean, what's the fun in gambling if you know you're gonna win? There is no fun, you know. And also the fact that they are marketing to a younger crowd, which he probably should know that because it's pretty well known. Um, and then faking the reactions and people saying, "Oh, I can turn $1 into $90," you know, that kind of stuff. It's just kind of crappy. If you're ever asked to fake something, you should immediately get suspicious, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
And
mean, I'm glad he's coming clean though. I mean, it's good to finally own up to your mistakes, but at the same
right.
time, it's kind of like damage is done. How many kids have you costed? You know,
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Well, more how many parents have you costed money, and how many kids
That's
have you turned into gambling addicts? Because that's it's not great.
yeah, you pretty much just said what Jericho said. He released a video yesterday. I know you follow him, or do you? I don't
I
know. You
do.
you you've linked me his videos
Yes,
a couple
I have.
times, and he released a video yesterday talking about it, and he basically said, if you're not, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something like, if you're not okay with the product and something like that, then why are you accepting sponsorships from companies?
Right, and sometimes people don't really think about the long term effects. Like, obviously, if any of you guys check out my channel, I have like two low key gambling videos. I don't feel so bad about that because literally I'm not YouTube famous at all. So I don't really have a lot of pull in the community. But when I was making it, I was just having fun gambling. I wanted to record it. I want to show it because that's what I like to watch at lunch. I watched people do gambling videos, so it would save me a couple bucks actually, because I wasn't gambling. But
Right.
at the same time, I just, you know, people do it and they might be doing it for the money. They think these companies are sponsoring me, they're going to give me X amount of dollars in skins and I get to keep half of them. You know,
Yeah.
easy 200 bucks, maybe they aren't thinking, "Oh, but what about all the kids I'm going to hook onto gambling?" Because that wasn't the
Yeah.
first thing that came to mind when I made those videos. I was just having a good time, and I no, obviously that's not the case for everyone, but
Right. Right.
it could be for some people.
Well said. Well said. Well, with that being said, Monster, if you're listening to this, hook me up with the sponsorship, man.
I think that's how sponsorships work.
I've been campaigning on my Snapchat because you know me, I love my energy drinks,
You
and
do.
so whenever I buy a Monster, I like take a Snapchat and I'm like, Monster, please sponsor me. I buy these like every day.
I'll fully disclose that you're sponsoring me.
So if Monster wants to sponsor me, I am totally okay with that because I love drinking Monster.
Good to know. I feel like I went to one of those, those metal tours, and I went to the Rockstar one. Rockstar was pretty good. I don't partake in a lot of energy drinks, so
Yeah, that's
Red Bull
some
not my
some
favorite, but Rockstar's pretty good.
some people are addicted to drugs. Some people are addicted to alcohol. I'm addicted to energy drinks.
Some people are addicted to CS:GO gambling.
Some people are addicted to CS:GO gambling. Some people are addicted to Vegas gambling. So
Basically,
we
just
all
gambling.
we all have our poisons.
We do, we do, and that's okay as long as we keep them under wraps enough.
Keep it under control,
Yeah,
basically.
right. All right. Well, speaking of addictions and horrible, horrible things, this guy, talk about this guy who, there's a CNN article. I linked it in the description below. Well, actually, I forgot. We're uploading the SynysterKobra's channel. He'll link it in the description below, I hope. Um,
All everything we talk about is gonna be in the description below. Just to get that out there.
just maybe not annotated.
Except, except for maybe like the Steam summer sale because that's over.
Yeah, that is over. Um, but yeah, anyways, so there's a guy, right? And I guess after a legal dispute, someone started a prank where they kept posting his pictures on Twitter and various social media saying he's in different disasters, and the three that he's been caught for so far are the Egypt air disaster, the Orlando nightclub, and the Istanbul airport bombing.
Mm-hmm.
So he was actually shown in a video from New York Times for the Orlando nightclub saying that he was killed. Sorry, that's not funny, but they ended up taking it down. So, well, taking his part down at least.
Right.
And
Taking his image down.
right, and the whole point, the reason that people started this prank and were doing this supposedly was so people would recognize his face and it would ruin his reputation. And supposedly he was cheating people out of money. Now, I don't know if that's like a great like retaliation to something like that. Me seeing a guy in three different disasters, I'd just be like, that's weird. Some stupid teenager's just posting pictures of his friends, and I would not look into it. But what do you think? Like, do you think that doing that is an effective way of getting their message across?
Well, if he was cheating out of people out of money and you have evidence, obviously take it to the police. I mean, I don't know anything about laws, politics, all that, but I'm pretty sure there's something illegal about cheating people out of money.
Right.
Sounds similar to the gambling situation, but I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think I don't think you should be posting this dude's picture online, linking him to tragic events like Orlando. That was pretty bad. Like people were mourning like a week, 2 weeks later. People are still talking about it to this day. It's like what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks
Yeah.
since the incident,
Orlando was bad. Uh,
since it happened.
right, especially in the gay community for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and
Um,
so
but I think they did take it to court, and I think they must have lost, and that's probably why they're doing this as like sore losers or something.
Well,
But
I mean, that's tough luck. I mean, if he's cheating you out of money, that sucks. Sure. And I wouldn't want to be cheated out of money, but I don't think trying to connect him with these disasters is the way to go as quote unquote punishment.
right, and there's so many posts that it's almost like I feel like it would just get lost. I don't know how they found it. Maybe they were doing a search by photo to see if they could find, I don't know, a terrorist or something. But like,
Right.
how would they even? There's thousands of tweets going out about this. You can't just look up hashtag Orlando nightclub shooting and then find, oh, here's this picture of this one guy. There's thousands and thousands, probably millions of tweets about that kind of stuff. So I don't know what their master scheme was. I feel like it was probably not that successful, except for when it got in the New York Times video.
Yeah, I mean,
But even
obviously.
then, people weren't like, oh, that guy died. I should Google him and make sure that he's not cheating people out of money.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I probably wouldn't have noticed if I was keeping up with current events. I probably wouldn't, if unless they used the same picture and the events happen like one after another, then I probably would have noticed. But since these events happen like a week apart from each other, I probably would not have noticed that it's the same guy. So
Yeah, I think that
I
they
don't.
use the same picture, but I I wouldn't have drawn that they were the same
And
person because I never
and
would have thought.
usually and yeah, and usually when media picks up on these events, they don't like immediately plaster the image of the victims. You know.
Right. I mean, they kind of did for Orlando though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the articles that I read really didn't. Uh, it wasn't until like it came out that survivors were talking about some of the victims. Then that's when I was getting to know who the victims were. But like initially, like the first day or two, I did not see any like images or anything like that.
Right.
Maybe they probably threw in like a name or two, but I didn't see any like images or anything like that.
Yeah, that's probably true. I think that throwing images of the victims like too soon might be, I don't know. People are trying to get over the trauma. They don't want to start thinking about the
Right.
people who died. They just want to hear the body count and then,
Right.
let that sink in a little bit and they could show the images later. But I feel like that might
Yeah.
just be
So
common news practice. I don't know. I'm not a news anchor, so
yeah. So I don't know what the end game was for these guys, but it obviously in my case it didn't work. Whatever they're trying to do, frame this guy for something.
And the really ironic thing is that this all arose over a legal incident, but he could actually sue them for posting his pictures all over the internet, under like false pretenses.
Yeah,
Um,
probably like defamation or something, maybe.
Maybe I'm not sure. Again, law not my thing. Uh,
Right.
he decided not to sue, so that's good. Um, I guess he says in Mexico they wouldn't do anything about it. I guess that's where he's from. Maybe that's what it said in the article. I'm pretty sure, unless I misread.
Well,
Just say
hopefully he's not trying to take care of it in Mexico because Mexico has their own problems right now.
okay. Reading the link though, it does say Mexico victim hoax, Egypt Air Orlando. So I think he is
Well,
trying to deal with it in Mexico.
yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a weird situation.
I have no idea what's going on in Mexico.
Well, the latest I've heard is that there's like teacher protests, but I mean that's a whole totally different topic,
Good,
and
good for the
I don't know.
teachers.
I don't know if we want to talk about that right now.
We do not want to talk about that right now because I don't know anything about it. All right.
All right.
So,
Well,
on a completely different spectrum, let's talk about our next topic. Go ahead.
we're gonna talk about comic books now. Yay! So I'm a
Yay.
comic book reader. I don't know if anyone knows that. I'm not super hardcore. I just buy books every now and then. I usually just stick to Spider-Man, but I do like to keep up with like the current events in comic books, what's going on, the ins and outs. And Marvel just announced that they're gonna be replacing Tony Stark with a new Iron Man character who happens to be a woman.
Yep,
So
a black woman.
it's pretty. Yeah, a black 15-year-old teenager.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty interesting. I think.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, especially since it's true that non-white races aren't super well represented in the media. So I think it would be cool to have a not white superhero replacing someone like Tony Stark, a powerful white man. And like I know
Yeah,
it's not obviously it's not a race thing, but to a lot of people in this world, everything is about race, you know? So I'm glad that
yeah,
this will appease those people.
yeah. I mean, this is like a double-edged sword for me. On one hand, I like that there's new character, right? There's diversity. There's groups that are being represented. I can't speak right now.
Yes.
Represented in comic books. But on the other hand, I feel like these creators should do these new characters service and like give them original hero titles or something, you know?
Yeah, instead of just making Iron Man and then having kind of Iron Man's shadow and like on top of that, I guess, if you think about it, she's kicking Iron Man off. So all those Iron Man people who
Right.
really liked him, you know, now they're not liking this new character who happens to be a female African American person, which
Yeah.
actually is kind of I guess counterintuitive or not counterintuitive, but you know, against what they wanted probably.
Right. And it's like and then eventually Tony Stark is gonna have to return. So once he does, if this character does not do well, then they're totally gonna forget about her. So
Yeah, just slowly fade away into the shadows.
yeah, and I've heard different arguments. I've been reading user comments and stuff because I'm really into these comic book events or whatever you want to call them, and I've seen people talking about, oh well, the Falcon became Captain America at one point. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, became Captain America at one point, and it's like, while that's true, these characters were already established in their own as their own characters, right? They weren't introduced as the new Captain America to readers. You get what I'm saying? They were
Right.
already.
And they always have something to fall back to.
Yeah, and so this is the first time we're like hearing about this new character. I think she debuted like 3 issues ago or something like that. That's what I was reading. But like this is the first time she's getting the spotlight on her basically. And so
Yeah, I don't really see why. And like, I guess this was also. See, here's the thing with like sexism and racism. Like, there's always a double-edged sword. I
yeah,
personally feel like instead of replacing Iron Man, she could have just been like his associate. But
yeah,
because she came in second, they probably like, oh, another, you know, black girl working under a white man, you know? And I see how
yeah,
they could spin that bad, but at the same time, if they were both working together, then I could see that going a lot better because they wouldn't really have to write her out. You know,
right.
if they didn't like her, then they could just focus on Iron Man, and if they wanted to see diversity, they could just focus on her.
Yeah,
But completely replacing him might be a little bit ambitious for a new character without having really tested her for more than 3 issues.
right,
So,
right.
um, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean this. I feel like they should have done an original character. There's another character called Miles Morales. He is half black, half Latino. I think he's like Puerto Rican or something like that. And he replaced Peter Parker and became Spider-Man. But that's like a different situation because when he came in as Spider-Man, there was no Spider-Man. Like Peter Parker had died in the storyline. So I Tony Stark is not dead. He's still running around. So it's like, what's why are you replacing him? Tony Stark can still do it. You know?
Right. Yeah. It's like she's almost not even. Not that she's not given a shot, but they always have that fallback. Kind of like when they're replacing Captain America, like you were saying. There's always that security that they can always fall back to something that they know that works,
Yeah.
which
Right.
is fine. And I understand. Like it's a good business model. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if they want to experiment, you know, they can always fall back without it not making any sense.
Yeah. And
But you know, something something that's a little interesting about this certain choice that they made.
yeah, and we see these things in like movies and TV shows too, like the recent Fantastic Four. Johnny Storm was he was originally a white character, and they casted a black guy. I forget what his name was. Michael B. Jordan, I think it was. They casted him as Johnny Storm, and so I didn't see the movie, so I didn't know. I don't know what the explanation was because Johnny Storm is the brother of Sue Storm, so I don't know what the explanation was. And in the movie, Sue Storm is still white, so some
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit more context. So like, it's kind of weird. You're like rewriting at that point. You're kind of like rewriting all the history of a character, you know?
right. And I almost
And
feel like doing something like that is kind of setting the character up to fail because when you're reading a book, especially a comic book where it's literally illustrated for you, but even if you're just reading like a normal book, you know, your head has a picture of what the person looks like, and if that character isn't what you expect it to be, you're a little bit disappointed.
yeah,
And I feel like when you think of Iron Man, you know, you think of Tony Stark, you think of Robert Downey Jr. You know, if all of a
right,
sudden he became a black woman, I'd be like, "Where's Iron Man?" You know, and
yeah,
you know, I don't know. It just seems, especially since it's so kind of like abrupt. It seems.
yeah.
I'm
I
not
mean,
a yeah,
they gotta make like unique characters for these people because they're essentially setting them up to fail if they're just gonna replace an established character.
right. Especially again, especially someone as big as Iron Man. Um,
Yeah,
especially someone like that. If it was like some character that you know no one hears about that's only in the comic books, sure, they probably don't have a huge following. But I mean, Iron Man has what 2, 3 movies plus the Avengers. Like he's obviously got a following.
yeah,
So I mean, I don't know.
right, right. I believe even like Stanley has come out and said that instead of like making a white character black or a black character white or and a Latino character Asian or whatever, just make them an all new original character. Like what's so hard about that? You know, if you're worried about sales, well then throw them into the Avengers as a rookie or something. You know,
Yeah, you could do that. You could. I
E-
mean, superheroes they could easily die off. They're in combat. They're in danger all the time.
yeah, and then this is comic books. See, if you're dead, it's not permanent. You know, Wolverine has come back a dozen times. Spider Man has come back like a handful of times. So it's comic books.
Right.
You
And
can reboot it whenever you want. Like Marvel and DC already are doing reboots already. DC just did it recently. So
yeah, I guess at the same point though, of going all the way back to when you're saying that Bucky and stuff were casted as Captain America for a second, could that not be the same thing that's happening here with Iron Man? Is that they're just recasting it to an African American, but it somehow is a bigger deal because she's a girl and because she's not the same race.
well, the thing is, like Falcon, he's an African American character, and
That's true.
he replaced Captain America at one point. But it made sense in the storyline because either Captain America was dead or he was in hiding for whatever reason. What's his name? I forget. Captain Steve Rogers.
Right.
He went into hiding or something, and so someone had to take the mantle of Captain America because he's such a iconic figure in like this comic book universe. So in those situations, it makes sense. I don't know the full storyline of this, but I what I do know is that Tony Stark is not dead, and he's just in the background running a company right now. So what's the point of replacing him? Have he can have his own armor run itself, like we've seen it in the movies. So
Right. Maybe I don't know. Maybe his company's just really busy, you know?
yeah, I guess so. It's too busy for
Maybe
him.
maybe he
But
hired an intern.
this is Tony Stark we're talking about. He loves all the glory that comes with the Iron Man suit.
That's true, especially in the movies. Again, since I don't read the comics so much, but he definitely seems to be loving all of the fame that he's getting from it. So it would be kind of
Yeah,
weird for him to just step down just because his company was busy or something else happened.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I will. I just want to make it clear that I'm not uh put off by an African American 15-year-old teenager. Like that's cool. just give her own character, give her some original material. Don't set her up to fail by having her replace this. Like, sure, Iron Man, maybe you could have gotten away with it pre Iron Man movies, but now that Tony Stark and Iron Man is like probably number one Marvel superhero now, I
Right.
don't think I don't think you can get away with it.
Yeah, pretty much anyone in the Avengers, you really can't get away with it, I think.
Yeah, like I think a few years ago, people were kind of having a field day with Thor getting replaced by a female Thor in the comic books. So
Right.
it's just it's super risky introducing a new character as a established character, especially when these established characters have so much mainstream popularity through the movies and all that. So
Right. Once there's a shirt with a character on it, you can't change them anymore.
exactly.
I mean, like when your new sporting team gets new jerseys and you're like, are you just doing this for the money? Are you just trying to get me to buy some more jerseys?
Yeah. Right.
But I don't think that's necessarily the draw here, but once it's on a shirt, it's in stone. You can't just keep changing that stuff.
hmm
Anyways. All right.
Speaking about sports and jerseys and teams, I guess our final topic for the show is soccer slash football, depending where you live. Superstar Lionel Messi got in serious trouble recently, evading his taxes in Spain. So I don't know if this is super like different category. We were just talking about like games and comic books. Now we're talking about sports. Usually things that you don't mix up together. But we both watch soccer, right? Yeah, you've
Yep.
been telling me you've been watching some soccer recently.
Yeah.
You yell at the TV.
Yep. I do yell at the TV. I pretend like it's FIFA and then get mad when I click the joystick the wrong direction and they pass it somewhere else, which
Yeah,
happens a
and
lot
I'm
when I play FIFA.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows who Messi is. So this is kind of a big deal. Him getting in trouble with the Spain government for evading his taxes. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not sure if you look too into it, but I think uh, I've read somewhere that he is not going to serve his 21 months that was given to him. I think like 2 days ago or something like that.
Right. I did read the article that's in the description below. And the thing that's interesting about this is it just seems like he hired a bad tax preparer. At least from this
I think
article, like they
I think
literally say that.
his own his own dad is his financial
Oh God,
financial
I
advisor. I think.
I didn't know that. Like literally in this article, it says that he approached a firm specializing in taxes management for athletes. So like the fact that he went to a firm and and then like it's specific for athletes and then he gets in trouble for taxes. I feel like it's not really his fault, but maybe the fault of the tax preparers. Like
Yeah, and
I don't know.
um and so his teammate Javier Mascherano, his teammate in Barcelona and in the Argentinian national team, also got in trouble. But obviously, you're not hearing about him because he's not a super megastar like Messi. And so I think this is just like a common thing in Spain for Spain soccer players is to avoid doing your taxes. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but like the big thing is like what I want to ask you was do you feel like Messi should get away with this considering he is like this super megastar and like everyone loves him, who unless you're a Cristiano Ronaldo fan, you probably don't like him, but
Yeah.
pretty much everyone loves this dude.
Yeah, to be honest, like I said moments ago, like I don't feel like he purposely evaded taxes unless he purposely went to a place that he knew would cook the books and not do it properly. I do think that it's kind of crappy that okay, according to the article, they can do probation if their sentence is less than 2 years, which is 24 months, and he was sentenced to 21. And that kind
Yeah,
of seems like some kind of weird favoritism going on. So to me,
right.
that seems a little bit sketchy and a little bit unfair to common folk. Because how much, what would warrant 3 more months unless this is the common amount that is given out? I don't know, but I I don't feel like he's getting away with it if it was legitimately the taxpayer's fault. And I do
Yeah.
feel like he could potentially, I'm saying potentially, he could potentially be the victim because obviously we don't know the whole story on if these preparers were hired to cut, cut his taxes in a way that favors him. But at the same
Right.
time, I do feel like there are a lot of athletes who are given special privileges under the law that other people would not get. Like branching off of this to another soccer player, Hope Solo. You know, she got in trouble, but she was let off the hook easy. Or the rape case in Stanford with the swimmer.
Yeah.
And like I know everyone's trying to make that a race thing or an athlete thing, but you can't help but notice that all of these people have some kind of public face, and they're all getting off the hook, whereas normal people don't. And I guess that's just part of the problem with the justice system, and how it can be corrupted easily. But going back to what you're saying, I I don't know if I should feel like he's getting off the hook or not because it may or may not be his fault.
Yeah, when I first heard about this, because it's been going on for some time now, that Messi has been in trouble for his taxes, and I mean, when the story first broke out that he was in trouble for that, I was like, well, then I can't really defend him. He has to, if he can serve the time, don't do the crime, right? So this
And
guy's
yeah,
probably one of my favorite soccer players, but still, if they can't let him slip by just because of his status.
yeah,
It's
and I agree with that part of the athlete favoritism or the public face favoritism. But again, I just, for me, I'm having a hard time 100% ascertaining that he is the one cheating the system,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
based off of the article. Like, if it was like, oh, he prepared his own taxes and now he got caught for tax fraud, sure, it's his fault. But it sounds like he
yeah,
paid someone to do it for him and then he got caught for tax fraud. And I feel like it shouldn't be his fault, but rather the people who prepared his taxes.
yeah.
But
Definitely. If it turns out like that's the case, then sure, let him off the hook. Whatever. Maybe you know, give him a slap on the wrist or something. But if it does turn out that he was the one who's to blame, well then I'm sorry. What can
yeah,
you do? You're gonna have to miss a season at Barcelona. You're gonna have to miss one less trophy for your collection.
right. I think yeah, it depends on how it goes. If it is his fault, if he was doing some shady stuff with this tax preparing business, then yeah, it is messed up that he gets off the hook. But if it was if it was a mistake or something based off of the tax preparers, then I think what he's getting is fine.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, in reality, like 21 months of probation versus 2 years in prison, like it's a big difference.
right, right. It
So,
is.
or jail, wherever he would go, somewhere that you don't want to be.
Yeah,
So,
and tying it back to like the CS:GO gambling thing. These CS:GO guys are huge faces of the community. Like I don't think they should be getting away with this just because they have this good reputation. Got to make sometimes you got to make an example of someone, and unfortunately, it has to be these giant, well-known people.
but that's the best way to get the message across, saying that no one is
Right.
safe, right?
Right.
But I feel like in the sports world, that's definitely not the case. And another thing that's kind of not related to this, but it is sports related, is
Yeah.
like basketball. Like, I know you don't really watch basketball, but like the NBA finds people for all kinds of pathetic, like little things. Like, Steph Curry got mad and he threw his mouth guard and he accidentally hit a fan and he got fined, like, I don't remember how much, but like thousands of dollars he got fined. And then here, like, Messi might be committing tax fraud and he gets a slap on the wrist. He's not like fined for this. He's not like banished from his club. He's
Hmm.
like still accepted and they're just like, it's all right. You messed up. Okay, now do your probation and come back. And
Yeah.
granted, like, Curry wasn't about to get kicked off the Warriors because he threw his mouth guard at someone, but like the NBA definitely cracks down on it a lot harder than say, you know, soccer, soccer
FIFA.
universe or yeah, I was gonna say FIFA, but I
F-
wasn't sure if that was like
FIFA actually is a legit organization and isn't just the name of a soccer game.
yeah. See, I didn't want to sound stupid and say FIFA and then be like, oh, that's a soccer video game. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
they're cracking down on it a lot harder than them, but also like like Hope Solo, she's taken back on the national team. And
Yeah.
the thing is that these athletes, like, they're just as much role models as, like, someone's mom. Like, you watch them on TV, they're great, they're amazing at soccer, they're, you know, and, like, is that really what you want them to look up to?
Right. Right.
So I kind of
Yeah.
applaud the NBA. Like, I think it's petty that they fined Steph Curry thousands of dollars for accidentally, like, throwing a mouth guard at someone because he was mad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I kind of applaud them for holding people accountable and making them be good examples for all the kids who are watching at home. Which obviously is not the case in most sports worlds, as I've seen. So
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how this turns out. WWE had like a similar situation with their Golden Boy, so and I totally have respect for the company for suspending their Golden Boy and making an example out of him, showing that just because he's the face of the company and the chosen one, he can't get away with doing stupid stuff. So
yeah,
definitely we're gonna have to see how this messy thing turns out. See if it was his fault or if it wasn't.
yeah, I didn't even know this was going on, but I'm definitely interested to see how this turns out now.
Yeah, I even saw this headline at the DMV while I was waiting to do my test today. So I
Yeah.
guess it's a pretty big deal if I'm seeing it at the DMV, right?
Well, I mean, it's Messi. Everyone knows Messi.
Yeah, everyone does. Everybody loves Messi.
But poor Messi, like, I was talking to my sister, I'm always so mean to Messi because every time they need him to do something, he always chokes. So I'm just like, oh, there he goes again, pulling a Messi, kicking it
He
20, 20 yards over the goal and stuff. And
he just
now,
can't win the big one.
I
I
know this happens. He, like, loses the Copa America. Like,
Yeah, it was tough seeing
I know.
Messi. Messi probably made the goal, the free kick of the tournament, and he misses a penalty. Like I
Yeah.
guess the nerves just got to him.
I mean, yeah, but as an international superstar, you'd think that he'd be able to handle the pressure. But I feel bad because I'm pretty mean to him, but not like he can hear me, But
Yeah, yeah. I
it's just
mean,
been a hard year for him, I think.
it's definitely an interesting year. Messi did not win the big one, but his rival Cristiano Ronaldo has a chance this upcoming week to win the Euro 2016 tournament.
Hmm. Good to know. Probably gonna have to talk about that a little bit, huh?
Yep, maybe.
Who knows?
All right, well, I guess that does it for this week. For all the topics we had. Once again, all the links will be in the description to all the articles that we used. You got any closing thoughts you wanna say before we close out the show?
All our social media is on the page. You can click it, check us out, and like, comment, subscribe, all of the good stuff.
Yeah, the
That's
good stuff.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yes. Uh, yeah, like I said, all the stuff will be in the description, including our social media, my Facebook, Twitter. I don't know what else I usually links. I link stuff, so just click on the stuff, click
All
on the
of this
stuff, and
stuff.
make us happy.
Yes, please.
But anyways, guys, as always, I would like to thank you guys for listening. In this case, um, hopefully we'll be back next week with some more topics of what's been going on the interwebs.
Yep. Should be back next week.
All right, well, it's been good. We'll talk to you guys later.
Peace.
That is pretty recent. Like I stopped watching Adult Swim when they got American Dad into their lineup.
I feel like American Dad is, like, old as dirt.
I'm
But
pretty sure
I don't know.
it's like late 2000s.
Okay, I did. I'm not up with my Adult Swim discography, so I don't know when things came out, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely not a late night childhood.
I can definitely tell.